Okay, back on this 1948 Westinghouse fan. I'm in the process of rewiring the motor right now. As soon as I started messing with it, all this original wire just started instantly crumbling. So I'm getting all fresh wire put back in it. I've got one more connection to make on one of the windings. That's my setup there, and I'll just slide that wire through that coil and then solder it up and put heat shrink tubing on it. Okay, the wire's all soldered up. Now for the heat shrink tubing. Okay, they're all 3 wired again and soldered and heat shrink tubed. And I've got some of that red insulating varnish I'm going to put on here to help protect it a little bit better. Okay, so I've got a coat of that varnish on there. This stuff right here. Just to kind of help coat that paper that's disintegrating as it gets touched. And next I will secure these wires after this varnish dries. And I got my replacement resistor in. And the holes line up so I don't have to drill any more holes in the case. And I got some grommets ordered, and I'll be recreating this section of the circuit. And then put a new cord on it. Should be able to put it back together and see if it's going to work. Okay, my next step is to get my resistor wired up, soldered and heat shrink tubed. So that's ready to be installed. Okay, and all this mess, I've actually got it rewired. Got the blades stripped down. Motor's all got fresh wiring into it. So I'm gonna power it up on the Variac and see how it does. It's at about 90 volts right there. I believe that's high. That's our amp draw. So it actually still works after I took it apart and did the wiring on it. So that's pretty good. Okay, here's the first test run on my makeshift stand. This is on low speed at 120 volts. This thing moves an incredible amount of air. Okay, it's the next day and my epoxy arrived. And I've thoroughly cleaned the blades and put the epoxy on there and clamped them with some zip ties, so I'll let that dry for 12 hours or so. And then I'm supposed to be able to work that epoxy down. And then I'll sand it up and respray the blades black. And here are the repaired blades. Not perfect, but much better than they were. Beginning to reassemble the fan and wiring. Got those cover plates painted. I didn't paint the backside in case anybody ever wanted to paint it back the original color. But all I'm waiting on is the new capacitor, and I can get all this put back together. Okay, I got the stand all finished up, repainted, cleaned and metal polished the grill. The customer wanted it black, so black it is.